Oh,
All right.
ALP says I can't hear anything. Morning, everybody. We are going to start our very first attempt to do some super fun therapeutic painting today. We are calling it Paint Small. So everything that we're going to create today, we're aiming for something small and manageable that can be done in less than weeks and hours. So we're just going to get started. And I want to first tell you what I have. The inspiration for this really was my daughter, because while we're all self-isolating, she, the artist, she went out and grabbed a few rocks out of the rock bed and washed them off, and then painted some really fun things on there. Actually, her grandmother paints rocks all the time. She has been for some time. She's in her later years, and she's an artist. So she creates sometimes like really big, gorgeous rocks. That she has one out in her backyard that she's painted to look like it's a big dog curled up and sleeping. And I swear, from the window, it totally looks like she has a dog out there. She's really good at it. She also paints little teeny tiny things that have little Bible verses on it. She paints shells. It's been super fun. So Gianna went out and grabbed some rocks, and she made a little cat, and she made a, oh, I see some people showing us their rocks. Nice.
Oh, look at that.
Gianna made a cat and an owl and some other simple things. And then she put them out in the rock beds, the flower beds. And then we noticed that it wasn't very long before some little neighbors picked them up. And I don't know, maybe they're collecting them. There are a lot of people around who do rock painting, and I guess there are rules about it, and I'm not super familiar with all of them, but from what I understand, if you see a rock that is painted and you pick it up and take it, you're supposed to replace it with a rock that you made. So nowadays, as people are taking their daily walks and not getting too terribly far away from their homes, maybe we might like to put out a few rocks that they could see that have something fun or cute, or maybe a nice little message on them, and maybe it would cheer somebody up. Maybe they might even leave some that they painted. We just want to try to be cheerful and be a blessing. So that's what we're aiming for right now. So I have several different things that I got so I could paint. I want to show you my very first. I started a few days ago. My very first attempt was with just regular nail polish. Now I have, over the years, I have collected a number of different kinds of nail polish that I don't really intend to use on my nails anymore. So I decided I would see what it would look like on a rock. And so as you can see, I've given it a few swipes here, and then I let it dry. But I had to get out something to cover my table, because moms and dads don't like it when you mess up their tables. So all I have here is just a plastic garbage bag liner, but you could just use a paper bag, or if you have a plastic table cover that your mom doesn't mind if you get it painty or mess up, you could use that. Then I have a little bit of foil, because these rocks, once they get paint on them, I didn't want them to stick either to my plastic or get the paint everywhere. So they really don't stick at all to aluminum foil. So I have a little square or rectangle of aluminum foil. And I just use the paint brushes that are inside the nail brush, the nail polish brush that was in here. But then I'm also today going to start with some regular acrylic paint. And there's a no. ALP says no. And I have a paintbrush, but this is not one of my nice ones that Miss Anna might use. This is, it probably was nice one day, but a long time ago, we didn't know how to wash our brushes out properly. So this is all kind of crusty. And so I'm going to use this to paint my rocks. You might have nicer brushes or less expensive brushes. If I were you, I would go with the ones that nobody in your family is going to be upset if they get a little messed up, because especially like even the nail polish, once you rub this brush on a rock, it could have dirt on here. I've washed mine and then dried it, but it's lives in the dirt, so there might be little specks. And if I touch the paintbrush back into the bottle, I might get little specks of things inside there, and then it might make it not very good for my nails. So I'm only using the nail polish that I'm not intending to use on my nails ever again. But then I'm also going to try using acrylic paint. This is not the super fancy stuff that Miss Anna uses. to create all of her lovely creations. This is some really inexpensive craft quality paint that we just sort of inherited. I may have picked it up on sale a long time ago. So I'm going to try to use some of that. So I've got a brush and several kinds of paint. I've got my rocks and my foil. Now I need to get my glasses out so I can see what I'm doing. Now I use this little booklet that somebody gave me that has really, these are super fun little craft paints, these little pictures on here. Some of you might have paint like that. And those are great for this kind of a project. Oh, I have a hand raised, yes.
Joey has a question.
Joey has a question. Okay, let me look over to Joey. Yes, Joey.
I'm gonna set a verse on my big rock.
That is a very big rock. So does everybody have something, if you don't have a rock, do you have some sort of paper or canvas or something that you could paint something on today? Okay, I have thumbs up. Anybody not have something that they can paint on? Well, look, it looks like everybody's ready. Okay, so we're gonna give it a try. So I would encourage you, if you don't have rocks to paint on today, to give it a try one of these days, because it is kind of fun and freeing because you're not limited to the squares. I see Carson holding that. Looks like she has nail polish. Okay, so we're gonna do nail polish and some acrylic. I'm gonna start with my nail polish just because I want to show you how I did it. And we have a whole lot of tech. So this cute little book, it has smiley face, which actually is kind of my speed, the way I paint. Some of you are probably much more talented than that. But we have a little bumblebee. These are just inspirations. Somebody even printed a little hamburger, or made a little hamburger out of a rock. But look at some of these. They're so fun. There's a chocolate chip cookie. There are flowers and sports balls. You could do a whole landscape. Look at that little scene. Isn't that cute? That would be so cheerful if somebody found that out in the flower bed as they were walking. Look at these. I've seen several ladybugs. The bumblebee is cute. There's a frog, and that fish is fun. Depends on, you'll make choices depending on what you have for paint or nail polish, and what you think your painting skill level is. I'm going to start with the very beginner level. There's still a no. ALP still says no. So I'm going to start at the very beginner level, and I'm just going to give it a try. So look at all these. They have some holiday inspired rocks. They have, oh, there are other holidays and rock pirates. Look, there's like treasure maps and things. That sounds interesting. Rocks on the go, some with transportation, rocks in space. Now you don't have to do anything like this. You just maybe might get inspired by this, or maybe you already have a picture in your mind of what you wanted to paint. I kind of like these that just have little patterns, stripes or dots. I think that's my speed. I might try something like that, as well as my smiley face. Here's some that are animal inspired. I like this idea. They just dripped and poured some paint right on there. Now you would need a bigger surface below you to catch all the paint that pours off if you were going to try that. So I'm not sure that's the first thing you should try, but you can. It's just a lot of extra paint or nail polish, and it's going to spread everywhere. So you could try that, but just maybe not today unless you have some experience in it. We can try that another time. Here's some with symbols, letters, sports balls. You can always write a word like hi or love or have a happy day. You could write a Bible verse. I'm just going to give you a couple of these little ideas just for inspiration. I bet most of you already have an idea what you'd like to paint. So I'm going to show you how I did. Like I said, I started with rinsing my rocks. I rinsed my rock after I picked it out of the garden because I don't want loose soil, and I certainly don't want like a little creature living on there, bugs or eggs or whatever. So I washed it off in the sink. I made sure that all of my dishes were out of there and it wouldn't splash on any food, but then I had to leave it to dry. So I set it just in a paper towel inside this old pie pan, but I wouldn't get a nice new fresh pie pan unless I get permission. You want to use a pie pan or a cookie sheet or just anything that's stiff and will hold it. I let it drain on here on the paper towels. And then now that it's pretty dry, I'm gonna go ahead and work with it. Another caution, you wanna, yesterday it rained near where I live. And so all of the rocks were soaking wet. You can even see some of them I picked up this morning. I don't know if it's ever gonna, I mean, it's certainly not gonna dry very quickly because it sat in the rain water and dirt all day yesterday. And so I don't know how fast it's gonna dry. I can probably paint on it. I just might not be able to get the paint to adhere very well. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get started. I wanna show you how I started with this. I'm gonna use this teeny little glittery nail polish on this rock. I've already done one coat, but I think it'll be better if I do a second coat. So I'm gonna flip it over where I need to get a second coat, and I'm just gonna paint it sort of generously. It's gonna be smelly though. If you're using nail polish, just be aware that moms and dads, not everybody in the family loves the smell of nail polish. My phone decided to take a break. Okay, there it comes. So not everybody loves the smell of nail polish, so you're gonna want to ask everybody if it's okay, and then make sure you have maybe a window open. We even have a little fan going in the background because some of the people in our family are very sensitive to the smell of nail polish.
Don't like it.
So I'm just gonna paint. I thought this one would be fun because it's so cute, but I never paint my nails purple with glitter. I thought a rock in the rock bed with some little sparkles might be fun, and it's gonna have to dry. I'm putting it kind of thick on here. So it's gonna take a while to dry. I might even put it outside later when we're finished to do some more drying. But so I don't know if you can see that it's darkening up a little bit, and I do like the fact that nail polish already has sort of a sealer in it. It's a clear sealant. Yes, I have a question.
You have a question from Carson.
Okay, I want to hear your question, Carson.
Okay. Can we start painting now?
Yes, please. Please begin to paint. And I'm just going to show you how I'm doing mine, but you do whatever inspires you. And if you're using something other than a rock, I hope that you got inspired that, in fact, let's just take a second. If you don't already have an inspiration, let's ask the Lord for one real quick. And then if you do have an inspiration, let's just pause for a second. We'll just ask the Lord to just talk to us about this so we get it right. Father God, we just thank you that you have a good plan for us, especially for our day to day. And you want us to reach out and be a blessing to all those around us. And so, Lord, we just ask you just to give us a great idea and inspiration for what we should be painting small today. And we just thank you that because we're your sheep, we do hear your voice. So we know exactly when you're speaking to us. And thank you, Lord, that you do lead us. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, so you should have a great inspiration. Whatever thought came to you, I think that's the one you should go with. It's a pretty low risk because we're doing something small. It's not something that's going to take us 6 months to practice. Oh, so is that Mr. John? That's what Mr. John's working on.
I am going to make an eyeball with the eyelid all around the outside.
An eyeball?
Yeah, it's going to be looking at people. I'm going to put it outside and then walk by there. Say, oh, look, somebody's looking at me. Somebody's watching.
Oh my goodness. It's not going to be spooky though, right?
No, maybe it's going to be like, God is watching. Right?
Okay. All right, now I have foil. Miss Anna always has us use foil in acrylic class as a palette. And so I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to use this one over off camera to the side so I can leave my other rocks in here. But I'm going to, I've scooped too much. I scooped it. I'm not supposed to scoop it. I'm supposed to just paint gently. This paint is kind of funny though. All right, so I'm going to start with one little coat. I think I have to lay it down. I might not be able to paint both sides of this because the first side is going to be so wet, I won't be able to flip it over to paint the others until it dries. A hair on your rock? No, you don't want anything loose on there.
Have your hair pulled back when you're doing this.
That'd be a good idea, yes. If you have long hair to paint, pull your hair back so you don't get paint in it. And watch your posture. I've noticed all the painting and drawing that we're doing, we're hovering an awful lot, and then sometimes my neck hurts at night. It's been holding my head up at a weird angle. Okay, so this was my attempt at yellow on my rock, and I'm going to leave that over to the side to dry a little bit, and then I'm going to grab this guy. Oh, there's a scoochy. Use my paintbrushes to scooch my wet purple rock to keep drying. But then I liked this one. I did one coat of this sort of, I don't know, tan nail polish. I'm going to do that, another coat on my rock. Oh, I don't know, maybe I could. Huh. I might use that just as a background. Where do I have that I can do? Where's some red?
I guess it's a good idea to do maybe more than one rock at a time, because then you can let one dry.
I like that. Yeah, Miss Anna was doing that. And Miss Megan, when they do the little teeny paintings, Miss Megan has been doing little 5-inch square paintings in the acrylic painting class. And she'll do 2 at a time because that gives you something to do during class while the first one is drying before you can move to the next step. You can still keep going. Well, and then she just moves back and forth and back and forth. She's always doing 2 different ones. All right, so I am going to try this one that I had already put a little bit of nail polish on the background, and it's dried because that was several days ago that I did the background. So now I'm going to see. Oh, you know what I probably should do? Sometimes drawing a heart is hard for me. So I'm going to draw a heart on this one, and instead of just painting it freehand, I'm going to just get a regular pencil, and I'm going to try to outline a little heart. Oh, it doesn't really want to go on this nail polish.
You have a little question from Carson.
Okay, yes, Carson, what's up? Oh, I can't quite hear her.
You're muted, Carson.
She's working on it. She's getting some help.
There we go. Oh.
As you saying you're going to paint a heart, I was going to paint a heart on this one.
Oh, I like it. We're thinking alike. Hearts are nice. And except for how sometimes I have a hard time getting it the right shape, it's pretty easy to paint compared to like trying to paint a kitty cat. So I'm going to give that a try. That'll be nice. So I guess I am going to have to freehand this. It's not what I'm best at, but I'm going to give it a try. Because my pencil just did not want, maybe I should have used like a black pen. I probably could have used an ink pen to trace a heart for myself, but hey, that's coming out okay. You can tell what that's supposed to be.
Beautiful.
So now I can just touch up the shape, and then I'll go back, and I kind of want my heart to be a little bit more, I don't know, fat. A fat heart. I hope I don't ruin it now.
The little rocks don't stay still very well.
No, yeah, they don't stay still unless you get one. I mean, even this one, it's pretty flat on the bottom, but it still wiggles. Look at that. It's presenting some new challenges that you don't have to experience with your canvas usually. What do you think? Does that look like a heart?
Oh, I like it.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to let that dry. I want maybe one more little pass at the paint, and then I'm going to let it dry. And I don't know, maybe it's done. Maybe I don't need to do anything else to the heart. Heart is a universal symbol. Everyone will know it means love. Okay, so now You have to hold my rock steady with another paintbrush or pencil or something. Some people, like Jonah's grandma, who paints rocks all the time, she'll just pick up rocks that she likes the shape of, and she'll get inspired by the shape. And that's how she decides what she's going to paint on them.
Ooh, Joey has, I think Joey wants to show what he did.
Okay, let's see what Joey says. What do you have, Joey? Oh, I gotta increase my screen because I can't see. Did you highlight that, Jonna, so I could see? It looks like
Kind
a
of.
swirl.
Spotlight it?
Oh, look at that. Is it something specific? Because I just see big yellow swirl. What is it?
Also green, if you look close enough.
Uh,
Green and yellow.
And what's it supposed to be? Just an abstract pattern, or is it supposed to be something?
Well, I'm going to paint the Bible verse. I'm going to do dry on top of it and then a heart below it.
Oh, okay. So it's gonna have to dry, it looks like, for a little while. And that paint is so nice and thick on there. It may have to dry for, I don't know, a whole day even. It looks fun. It looks a little like a cinnamon roll to me. I think I might be hungry.
I thought that it looked like a cinnamon roll too.
All right, then. Maybe we should go get cinnamon rolls. Where can you get a cinnamon roll? Okay, so now I have 2 rocks that need to dry, and then I'm going to try this a second coat on this guy. I painted, oh, what's that? Who's that?
It's ALP.
ALP. I want to see ALP's rock. Ooh, look, it's kind of blending, gradation, different colors. I like it. So I'm going to paint the other half of this one. I painted this a few days ago, the top, but as you can see, it's just plain old rock on the bottom. But I wanted it to be all different sides covered, because I was thinking, I was actually picturing, I could just put all 3 of these little nail polished rocks out there together, and even if they don't have a great image or verse or something on it, it might still be fun. It might catch somebody's attention if they're looking closely enough. And like I said, we do have some kids in the neighborhood who have started to hunt for all of these painted rocks. All of Jonna's are gone. I was a little disappointed because I was excited about looking out the window and seeing that pretty. She had a bunny. She painted a bunny.
I
She
painted
made
2 bunnies.
yeah. And she painted a kitty cat. It looked like it was all curled up, and she painted a big owl. And I was looking at them out the window, and then the next day they were gone.
This one little girl found the bunny that our neighbors was babysitting, and she would not let go of it. She liked it so much that she wouldn't play with the other kids. She just wanted to hold it.
Oh,
She held it for like an hour and a half.
a
She
bunny
loved it.
rock. Like a rock pet or a pet rock.
She named it Carrots.
She named her rock.
Yep.
Okay.
Her mom asked her, "Are you gonna feed it carrots?" And she laughed.
See, so we're just trying to do something nice, and it helps to entertain people. You at least get your mind off of some of the not that fun stuff that you might have been thinking about. Okay, so see, I'm using my paintbrush backs trying to move things. I don't want to touch it.
Like your chopsticks.
Sort of like chopsticks, yeah. Okay, so now I need an inspiration for this guy.
I think it should be a caterpillar.
Yeah, I don't know how to do a caterpillar.
Paint them green, add hair and stripes.
Hair and okay. You can do the caterpillar next time. I'm gonna do something else. Something
Okay.
easy. I want to see what. Let's see.
You don't need a lot of paint, do you?
You don't seem to need a lot. No. It kind of sits on the surface of the rock. I was wondering though, like the nail polish, it seemed like it kind of sucked it up. So I used more nail polish than I was planning.
Well, you never used it anyway. So
Yeah, I'm not really a big nail polish gal anymore. Well, plus some of it is 25 years old. I've had it for a long time. I don't know if nail polish goes bad, but it seems to be fine on the rock. So that's just a hint of yellow on this one. I wonder what Evelyn is painting. Did Evelyn show us what she's painting?
I don't think so.
She doesn't have to show before she's ready, but I was curious.
Do you want to show Evelyn?
I just did the backgrounds of all mine, but I'm doing a snail on one, I'm gonna paint trees on this one, and then I'm gonna do Oregon on this one.
Ooh,
Oh, the state of Oregon?
Mhm.
What a fun idea.
that is cool. Your phone went off again, Mom.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Okay, so I'm trying this yellow to be a really light coat to see if that, it might dry really fast and maybe it builds up nicely. We'll just see, because I haven't spent a lot of time painting on rocks, so this is sort of a new experience. Every time you change your materials, your tools, you got to get used to them again. I haven't used this acrylic paint a whole lot either, this particular brand, so we have to get used to it, figure out how it behaves. Miss Anna uses that word. How does your paint behave? That seems like it would dry a little faster because it's so thin. I wonder if I need a hair dryer. Yeah, Miss Anna's always blow drying in between the layers with a hair dryer. I wonder if I need that.
Oh, we have someone watching on YouTube.
Okay, well, and it's we have a little Carson has her hand raised.
Yes, Carson?
We used to have a hair dryer when we would nail polish my hands. We would dry it, but now our hair dryer broke, and
Oh,
so we can't use one.
well then we'll just have to let it air dry.
Air drying's nice.
Yeah, you just have to be more patient.
Do you want to see my rock with the heart?
Yes. Oh, I like it.
Cool.
Colors. I
It's
like
got
the blending.
purple as well as red, it looks like. Or is it pink?
It's red, pink, and purple. It's pink sparkly. I use this kind of pink sparkly.
Ooh, I like it.
Looks pretty, Carson.
Thanks.
I like your rocks, Mom.
Thanks. I'm trying to get him to, I just want him to sparkle. That's really what I want it to be shiny. And then maybe it would catch the sunshine out there and get somebody's attention.
What is that, like a metallic blue?
It is. It's sort of like a powder blue.
It'll just make it so that those kids find it faster.
Yeah. And maybe some grown-ups too. I always want to put like words or Bible verse, but I have a hard time painting letters, especially this small. So my thought was I might give it a try. Once everything is dry, I might get like a black Sharpie pen because those are permanent and it would probably be easy enough for me to write a word or two on there, but I'm gonna have to experiment because I don't want to, after I've painted all these, I don't want to ruin them if the Sharpie doesn't work right for me.
Look at AOPs.
Oh, look at that. Is that, oh,
Is that
see,
a
she's doing like a
sunset?
landscape.
That's
Oh my goodness, so
beautiful.
pretty. So pretty.
It's a good big rock.
Yeah, it's a good sized rock for a piece of art, isn't it?
Want to go on vacation.
Yeah.
Your eyes looking good, Dad.
It is looking good. Good job. She says, thank you. There's such a delay sometimes from your chance to comment. Yes, we're using so much new technology. Well, it's new to most of us that it's easy for things to go wrong. We have like 17 things happening at the same time. So if any one of those little pieces doesn't work, okay. Oh, we got neighbor kids yelling.
I want to show my tiny rock.
Want to show your tiny rock?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Good, I
Oh.
have to get my screen bigger so I can see.
One
Oh.
side's black with yellow spots, the other side's yellow with black spots.
Oh, I like it. Nice. You know why I can't see it very well, Joey, that I have to really focus is right behind you, there's a nice big pretty window and there's a ton of great light streaming in. Unfortunately, it's going straight into the camera. So then when you hold your rock up, there's more light coming from behind you than in front. And so I can't quite see. That's why I thought it was yellow. The other one was yellow and not green. So we have to all learn how to set up our workstations for prime video exposure. Mr. John's been trying to help us with that for sure. I mean, you can see behind me that I didn't fold my blanket that's on the couch. Everybody pretend you can't see that. Oh. Thanks, Gianna.
No problem.
Ah, see, this is what I didn't want to happen. Oh, no.
Well, the thing about the rocks though is that there's going to be a bottom side, right?
Yes.
So if
Do you want, guys, do you want to see my two small rocks?
Yeah, in a minute.
So if you have one side that, is going to be on the bottom, that could be the side you do first and then you let it dry.
You don't even have to do the bottom. You don't have to paint it. You could just only paint the top. I was just trying to do, I don't know. I guess I was thinking like Easter egg hunt. That must be what I was thinking because I wanted like pastel colors and I wanted them to be sparkly and all sides painted.
Look at that.
Oh my goodness, look at that.
Carson did those.
Wow. Now those are going to take a little while to dry, huh? Because wow, that's some thick polish. Good. Pretty. These are so cheerful. I think they're going to cheer people up. The first coat on my first yellow rock has dried, so I'm going to go for a second coat. This one, I think I am going to just leave it just one side painted. So the last thing I guess we would do is we would just let it all dry. So then we could take it outside. You can keep them though. You don't have to give them away, but it is nice to think about giving them to somebody or cheering someone up. You don't have to just leave it in the yard or on the street. You could give it to someone specific. Jana's grandma always picks people she thinks that she should give them to. She asks the Lord who should have this, and she's even mailed rocks to us. I wouldn't encourage that too much because you pay to mail things with the postman. You pay by the weight, and if you're mailing a rock, it's going to have a lot of weight to it, so it's going to cost way more than just mailing a piece of paper. But there might be some reason to mail some things, but there's also there are ways you could deliver things. You could leave it on somebody's porch. You could keep the rock. You could put it in, if you have a house plant, you could put it inside of the top of the dirt of the house plant. and admire it. You could give it to your mom.
Ooh, ALP is on the next one.
On to the next. Oh, it's another heart. See, hearts are good. Hearts are nice things to paint. I saw some of these in the book. They were painting rainbows, and I like those little landscapes that they were doing. I'm not sure I've ever painted a landscape. That would be my first try if I tried to do it on a rock.
Looking good, Dad.
Thanks. I've done this.
It's good to try new things, isn't it?
Yep.
I'm giving my rock a little extra coat so it's nice and red. And then I wonder how long it's going to take for those yellow ones to dry. I'm getting some brush stroke marks on this one because the way I started it out. I'm hoping that I'll be able to smooth that out later. This one doesn't have as many strokes. It's got a really, really thin layer of paint on there, but I think I'm on my 4th layer now. So you can see how this could take a lot of time and patience, depending on what you're trying to do. I'm happy with my blue nail polish rock. Let me give that another little coat on this side. I'm putting the paint on so thick on these ones, though. They're going to take a while to dry. Okay. Ooh, look at that. Hold it nice and still. It looks like that's a landscape too. Oh, the moon. Oh, it's a nighttime. It's forest. Except it's glowing back there. It looks like something fun is happening on the other side of the trees. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Talented.
Oh, and here's the other one.
Oh, and there's another. Okay, hold that nice and still. Oh, it's a little
Snail.
a snail. Oh, sparkly. It
Wow,
looks shiny. Yeah.
She's busting them out.
Nice. Yeah, Evelyn's been painting for a little while.
Is that all of them?
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. See, isn't this a nice little break? You can just paint whatever you like. I was going to mention to you, the next thing that's happening today, we're trying something else brand new. At 12:30, Miss Anna, oh, is that me? Okay, where's it? At 12:30, Miss Anna is going to do something from her house that's totally new for us and special. We have, Miss Anna for years now has been teaching people how to get started in art. So she does a lot of beginning lessons and then some intermediate lessons. And she has, of course, taught advanced lessons. She does it in all kinds of every different medium you can imagine. She's fantastic at watercolor and pastels and oil painting. She's fantastic at drawing. She does portraits, all different kinds of portraits of people in all the mediums. And they're gorgeous. But she doesn't get a lot of time to do art on her own at home because she's always working, teaching other people how to do their art. And then she's tired when she gets home. Well, so because we're not having to do all the driving that we were doing, and because everything has changed recently, we actually are figuring out a way to go into her home studio.
Keep going.
We're going into her home studio, and she today at 12:30 is just going to set up a piece of art that I think she's already started it, but she may be starting something brand new. But either something that's already in progress or something that's brand new in whatever medium she wants to use. She also always likes to paint really big, oversized things. So my guess is it's going to be big, but it might not be. It might just be like a 9 by 12.
Carson is raising her hand.
Just a minute. And
Mhm.
so Miss Anna is going to show us how she uses her talent to glorify God. She just turns on worship music and she just worships God and she paints and draws and whatnot. And so she's not really going to be teaching us a lesson. She's just going to be showing us, letting us see how she worships God while she's creating something beautiful. So you're all invited to come watch. Now, you're not going to necessarily want to just watch her paint, although I don't know, it is pretty interesting to watch. But you are going to bring your own materials, whether you like colored pencil or you like watercolor or you like markers or crayons or acrylic or whatever. You're going to set up your own station getting ready to create something or work on something that you've already started would be fine. And then you are going to join her and we're just going to worship the Lord and we're going to create our stuff. So I think that's going to be super fun. We're giving it a try. We're also going to record that. So you won't be shown. It'll only be Miss Anna and her work. But you might want to join that at 12:30 and maybe invite some friends. Maybe you can send them a message, text them, or email them and say, hey, this is what we're going to do at 12:30. We'll probably do live to YouTube and then leave that recorded up there. But I think it's going to be interesting. We're going to have to pray for her that she stays encouraged and she doesn't feel nervous because she's kind of letting us in on some super personal time that she spends with the Lord. And she might feel like, I don't know, like it's usually private, but she said that we could do it. So we're going to try that today and see how it goes. Okay, so who had a question?
Both Carson and Joyce. Let's do Carson first.
Carson goes first.
All right. On one of my rocks, I decided to do like a sunset with a field of flowers. I was doing it and I let the blue dry, but I wasn't ready to go in between the sun there. So I just started with my this color.
Okay.
So
Yeah, those will have to dry. That'll take a little while to dry because it's so thick, Carson, but it's going to be pretty.
I was thinking to put it like out on people's doorsteps since we live in a condominium. And then if they go open their door, if somebody dings on a door for like mail or stuff, they'll just see that rock there.
That might be a nice surprise for them. Yeah.
All right. Joey, you wanted to say something?
Yes. Since I couldn't find any decent sized rocks in my yard to paint, I grabbed a bunch of small rocks and I'm going to paint them all different colors and make like a pattern in somewhere like high or something out of the rocks.
Oh, a pattern with the rocks. I like it. That's a good idea.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, well, so we are about ready. It looks like some of you are finished and most of you are well on your way. So we might go ahead and just sign off and then let you guys, all of you, finish what you're doing. I have a couple things I'm going to finish. We need to leave things to dry, but you're welcome. And oh, a little heart. You're invited to snap a picture, have mom or dad snap a picture with their camera and then post it either in our Facebook group or here on YouTube. So we can see the results. All pretty. You guys all have such pretty stuff. Joy has something that's very manly. It's not beautiful. It's manly and wonderful. Oh, there's John's eye. He's painting an eyeball. Okay, so I think we're gonna get going. I hope that some of you want the floating eye. I hope some of you want to join us to come watch Miss Anna paint and maybe draw or paint yourself at 12:30, but it's only 11 o'clock now, so you have time to go get your lunch or, I mean, I hope not breakfast if you're that late, but it's okay. If you got to eat your snacks or your meal and then set up a spot that you can create and worship with us at 12:30, and then we're going to have drama at 2:30. So thank you everybody for joining us. I really enjoyed seeing all of your work. That was nice. 12:30. Yeah, so 12:30 is the next live that we're going to do with Miss Anna and her worship and painting. So you should come see some of the stuff she does. Is amazing. Maybe she'll give us a tour of some of her amazing pieces of art. Good job, everybody. Oh, there's the state of Oregon with the heart. Look at all of you. Nice job.
Wow.
Okay, we'll see you. We'll see you soon. I'm sure you'll need to check your email this weekend for next week's schedule. Okay, because we're just about at the end of the schedule. So we'll see you all soon. Have a really good day.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
I do. All right. All right, it's just us now.
Is it stopped streaming?